Back in August, I was on vacation and bored and decided to try something. I have an 11-year-old craft blog. It was the first online business I ever started, and I haven't touched it in years, but it's been making me a little bit of money. It makes $8 a day, just like $240 a month. And I wondered if I could bring it back to life. It sounds fun, but bringing it back to life does not mean I want to spend full time on it. I want to be able to do this with as little time and effort as possible. So over the past 6 months, which brings us to now, I've done a bunch of different experiments, tried a lot of different things, and I want to share with you the update from where I was back in August to where I am now today. In August, the blog was monetized technically in 3 ways: ad revenue, affiliate sales, and I do have an ebook that is set up for sale on the site. And that is actually one of the reasons that I came back and started thinking about this blog, because while I was on vacation in August, that ebook actually sold, which is a miracle, because I literally do no work on this site whatsoever. And seeing that sale I was like, ooh, is there an opportunity here? Is it still an option? So that's what piqued my interest. So I came back to the site. When we look at what was going on in August, from the heyday of this blog, multiple years ago now, talking back in like 2018, when I had over 100,000 page views in a month, we can see that now month of August 1st to 31st, of 2024, we hit 9,756 page views. Things had dropped off a lot. That's because I was doing no pinning. I had lost all of my Pinterest traffic. I hadn't pinned in literally years. There are some posts that had pins that for some reason just always did well on Pinterest and carried a little bit of this 9,000 page views over the years. And then I also have some posts that have for years ranked on Google, like how to remove Mod Podge has always been something that I've gotten organic views on. We also have Paint Sharpies Alcohol. That post always has done well because there are pins on Pinterest that still come up for whatever people are searching for simple crafts. And it's also somewhere in search results on Google too. But definitely a far fall from grace over the years from this site that used to get 100,000 page views in a month. And when you are relying on ad revenue, you know that less page views is going to mean less money. Less page views also, if you're doing affiliate sales, is probably also going to mean less money, because for me, the affiliate sales were things like craft supplies. I do have a lot of, I had at the time some posts about home decor. So I had home decor affiliate sales that were happening rarely. My ad revenue at this point was around $220 a month, which means my affiliate sales were like $20 a month. So not a lot happening with affiliate sales. And I do think that's something that I should focus on going forward with this site, which we'll talk about more later. We're looking at January of 2025. We've almost doubled the amount of page views. We're at 18,318, which means we're making more money. I've basically doubled the ad revenue. It's been over $400 the last couple of months. January was a little bit less because our RPMs drop in January, but I'm very happy with where the ad revenue is, and that's due to the increase in page views. I would really love, my goal for this is to see this site at again around 50,000 page views a month. We'll see how long it'll take me to get there. I doubled it in 6 months. I think with that 6-month learning period, I think I can get to 50,000 faster than it took me to double this number. The increase in page views has given me a little bit more in affiliate sales, but not a ton. We're around between $50 to $80 a month right now in affiliate sales. I have ideas on how to improve that vastly that I'm working on now, and we'll talk about that in a second too. Now I want to look at Pinterest, because Pinterest is a big driver of traffic for this site, and I want to show you where we were in August and where we are now in January, basically. It's February. So I want to show you where we were back in August and where we are now on Pinterest. All right, here we are in August of 2024. Before we talk about where I am now with Pinterest, let's talk about August of 2024. I had not pinned anything for this site in years, and I was still getting 378,000 impressions. I was getting 5,000 outbound clicks. Pinterest is a pain in the neck at times, but it is something that will work for you for the long term. And so it can be frustrating to spend time creating pins and scheduling them and all of that. But boy, do I wish I had been doing it all of these years, because where might I have been? Where might this little old blog have been if I had been doing that. Let's look at where things are now with Pinterest after pinning consistently for 6 months. All right, here we are. This is January of 2025. 736,000 impressions for the month, 11,000 outbound clicks. That's double where we were back in January. It's about double impressions too, I think. So 6 months of pinning has done good things for this site, for sure. I am not pinning a ton. I'm pinning about 5 pins a day, every day, for the most part. I have a system where I have 1 week a month where every day I create 5 pins for 5 posts and get those scheduled throughout the month. So I'm not spending a ton of time on it. I'm spending probably I'd say about 2 hours a day for 1 week a month, 14 hours a month, basically. And I'm talking 7 days a week, not 5, not the normal work week of 5. I'm not spending a ton of time on Pinterest, but it's definitely working well. I'm happy with it. I think it could be better, but we'll see. I probably can pick better topics to pin. That's what I'm focusing on now. And so I'm happy with Pinterest. It's fine. It is what it is. It's bringing me traffic, and that's great. All right, now we're looking at Google Search Console because this blog does have some keywords that it is always ranked for, which is great. We are looking right now at the month of August of 2024, 1,300 clicks in the month of August. Not bad for a site that I literally do not touch at all. 51,000 total impressions. Click-through rate is what it is. I don't pay too much attention to that except for when I'm focusing specifically on a particular post and how I can improve the click-through rate. Average position 27.6. Okay, so I'm getting Google traffic too without doing anything in August, as of August of this for this blog. So let's look at January of this year. Increase of more than 300 clicks in the month of January compared to that August. 92,000 impressions compared to the 51,000 back in August. I'm happy with that. And I've improved the overall average position. This isn't really a number that you can pay a ton of attention to because I've also added a lot of new posts which aren't going to have a very high position because they're new. But still, I've brought that number down from back in August, 27.6, to the average position is 24. Just those overall numbers are looking really good, and I'm happy with that. Prior to August and starting to revamp things on this blog, I had over 600 posts. Since then, I've added 63 new blog posts. They're all very strategically chosen to be good for Pinterest and also have some potential for affiliate income. And if you feel like 63 blog posts in 6 months is a lot, I could have done more. I don't write them myself. I use a fantastic tool called Machine that helps you write blog posts that are written by AI but can sound very human, and that you can obviously edit and all of that stuff to make them sound even more like you. And they all link together. It is an absolute game changer if you are blogging with volume in mind, and I would never start a blog post myself again. I use Machine for almost every single post I write. I'll link to that down below. It's amazing. Now, I do have a mailing list for this site too. For the most part, this is what we call a utility site. It's a lot of list posts. There are some craft tutorials on the site, but it's not what at Maker's Mob we would call a world building type of business. But I do have the mailing list that has been in existence for almost since the beginning of probably close to a year after I started the blog. I probably started the mailing list. And so there's people on it. It's around 1,400 people total. And I have focused over the last 6 months on the best ways to grow the mailing list, because my goal, my hope for this is that the blog can stay utility. It can continue to just be getting a bunch of page views, bringing in ad revenue, making some affiliate sales where possible, but also sending people to the mailing list and then starting to do some world building in the mailing list. And so I've been working on that. That's something I'll talk about more in the future in other videos. But you can see list growth. So August is when I started working on things again. September had 29 new subscribers. October, 36. November, 79. Nice big bump right there. November and December is where I really started to experiment with different things. 112 in December. I was happy with that. 93 in January, and 27 so far in February. So, which is fine, but you can see I would really love to see this open rate go up for sure. That would be great. Click-through rate, not bad, but I do a lot of what I do with this mailing list is I send an email out once a week, every Sunday. I do two things with this mailing list. Every Sunday I send an email with a craft tutorial that someone can create over the week. They're simple and easy and blah, 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 all that good stuff. And I like to see this click-through rate go up. I want to see people that are signing up are actually engaging with what I send in emails too, because this is where I want to start to do the world building. I want to be sharing what I'm making as far as crafts go through the week. I want them to start sharing back with me if they actually create something. That has not happened yet, but I think it's going to take more nurturing of the list in order to get to that point. The other thing that I do with this mailing list is I have a Tripwire offer set up. It's that ebook that I mentioned earlier that somebody bought while I was on vacation that kind of got all the wheels spinning on this. It's not good. Honestly, it's not something that I expect people are going to flock to and purchase, but seeing that random purchase happen without really trying to do anything or working on the site was exciting. And I think there's some possibilities, but I think I'm going to show you the page for it. I think what needs to happen with this, I don't think that this is a product that people are really interested in. What it currently is 10 craft tutorials. My favorite crafts, I just put together in a PDF that you can download, and it's simple and it's not expensive. But I don't think that here's my 10 favorite crafts is a good enough outcome for people. It's not something that people are like jumping to spend $13 on. And so the next iteration, I think, of this Tripwire offer, because I do want to keep the Tripwire offer, I want to continue to experiment with it and see if I can get it to work. And so the next iteration of it is going to be a better outcome and slightly better. I'm going to work on something very similar to the book, but this time it's going to be crafts to make and gift. And so that there's more of just, you get to make something. There's, you make something and you gift it to someone and you enjoy that making process, but you also really enjoy the idea of giving something to someone that you've made and having them just light up at, wow, you actually made this for me. Emphasis on that you made this and it comes with something that you're proud of. That's going to be the next iteration of this book, not just 10 things that you can make, but 10 things that you can make and gift. And so I just need to start working on the book, which means I need to figure out what crafts are going to go in the book. And I'm going to remake a lot of the things that are in this book will be in the new book, but I'll probably remake things and have to take photographs and all that stuff. So this is coming. I need to just create a plan to actually get it done. So those are the two things that I do with this email list. I have that Tripwire set up, and this is MailerLite. I have the Tripwire set up through MailerLite. MailerLite is not what would be my first recommendation to you for an email service provider. I like ConvertKit better, but this is just where this mailing list was, and I really didn't care to change it. And it does everything just fine. ConvertKit, I think, is better. I'll link to both of them in the description. So it's this Tripwire and also the weekly newsletter where you get the free tutorial. And the idea with the free tutorial is it's sending people back to the site, and all of my tutorials have affiliate links in them. So there's that hope for some affiliate sales too. All right, now let's get to the good stuff. I'm going to go month by month. I'm going to show you analytics for the posts, and I will tell you how much I made each month specifically. So this is, again, back to August before I really started working on things again. 9,756 page views brought in about $218. Most of that was ad revenue. I had about $22 in affiliate sales. That's with no work whatsoever. That's nice pocket change, right? Here we are in September. September, you can see this first post here, Quick and Easy DIY Headless Costume How To. That started to take off. It always does every year at Christmas time. It's a Halloween costume. Views improved, 11,585 views for the month of September, which is great, but money stayed largely the same, $217 in ads and in affiliate sales. And if you're wondering, this tutorial has absolutely no affiliate opportunity in it for the most part. I linked to a headless costume that you can buy on Amazon, but I didn't add that until very late in the season last year. But it's a very much a use what you have around the house type of tutorials. October, we have a big jump in page views because of our Quick and Easy DIY Headless Costume. We had 8,000 views in October, just that post alone. And you can see how things just ramp up leading into Halloween, which is great. But wait till you see what happens on November 1st. But first, the revenue for October. So ad revenue went up, which is great. It's $420. Wonderful. That's a big jump. Affiliates, again, $46. It didn't go up much. If this had more opportunity for affiliate sales, it probably would have really done well, but it's just not that kind of post, and it's not something you can force. People are there looking specifically for a DIY headless costume. They don't want to buy one. They want to make it. And so there's just not a lot of room for affiliate sales there, which is fine. It does its job bringing in ad revenue, and that's great. And here we are in November. I told you, things drop off rapidly after that Halloween post. We were down to 13,359 views. But the magic of November and December is that ad revenue, your RPMs go way up starting usually around November-ish. And so revenue didn't get hurt very much. It's $415 in ad revenue, even with that big drop off in page views. And again, we're at $33 for affiliate sales. Affiliate sales, this is where I really started to think about affiliate sales and what can I do? I need more. I need to do better with this. Especially going into December, where you would imagine that things would really improve because it's the holidays. But a lot of my affiliate sales come from Etsy. And my theory with affiliate stuff in Etsy in December is that people do a lot of their Etsy shopping a solid 2 weeks before Christmas because of shipping. It's not Amazon. It's going to take some time for it to get to you. And so affiliate sales didn't really go up much in December either, nor did page views, which I really want to work on for next December. That should be a big month. I have so many Christmas craft posts and pins and all of that, but I think it's probably also super competitive on Pinterest. So if you stick around with me, we'll see what happens in December of next year. Revenue for December was $414 in ad revenue and $29 in affiliate sales. So last month we're going to look at is January of this year. We had a nice jump in page views again, 18,000 page views. This is partly to do with Valentine's Day coming up. I have a Valentine's Day post that the pin ranks on Pinterest, which is super helpful. But also a lot of these other posts are starting to, because I've been pinning consistently now since August, a lot of other things are starting to get some traction from Pinterest. And I'm also working on SEO for the site. So we're starting to see more SEO, more organic views too. So a nice increase in page views to 18,318. However, the problem with January is your RPMs drop off, which determines what you're getting paid, basically. And so January was $374 in ad revenue and $50 in affiliate sales. So it's starting to creep up a little bit. A lot of that is because of a strategy that I at first just accidentally did. We look at this Unleash Your Bathroom's Inner Funk, 13 must-have funky bathroom accessories. There are 2 companion posts with this. It's a micro cluster, as I call them, of posts about bathroom decor. I stumbled on this when I realized I was getting affiliate sales on Etsy for products that are in this micro cluster of bathroom decor ideas. And that's something that I'm working on, that I'll be working on probably throughout this entire year, is building up more micro clusters about different groups of home decor purchases that you can make. And because I think that's a really big opportunity for me for affiliate sales. So if you want to hear more about that, definitely follow along. I'll talk about what I'm doing with the microclusters in different videos, and I'll also keep updating you on how affiliate sales are doing because of the microclusters. So stay tuned for more of that. So that brings you pretty much up to date. It's February 9th when I'm recording this. I brought you up through the end of January. Again, the site started at about $8 a day. I've almost doubled that. It's about between $14 and $16 a day at this point. I really want to see this. My goal for the site is to have it pretty passively at $50 a day. And when I say passively, I spend probably 1 to 2 hours every other day on this site, maybe. So it's not completely hands off, because I am trying to build up those clusters for the additional affiliate sales. Like, I'm definitely doing some work on it, but it's not my main focus. My main focus is teaching you how to create a business that's going to make money for you with a blog or with social media or with other things. And I do keep this kind of very part-time, and I guess you could call it my little side hustle to my full-time hustle. If you're interested in watching what happens with this site, follow along. I will continue to update and let you know how things are going.